What's up, everybody? We are back with a new episode of Abby's Abode in 2024. So,
Woohoo!
welcome everyone. We've flipped the calendar to the new year. So, happy New Year to all of you. I hope all of you are well. And yeah, we're gonna talk a lot about looking ahead in 2024 this evening. It's gonna be a little bit of a different episode. We'll make a couple of announcements as well. We might have some things we'll discuss as to some future plans. But yeah, so as always, we got to have Abby in here. So, Jodie, how are you this evening?
I'm doing okay in between surgeries.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told any of you guys. I don't remember if I told you guys or not. I did have my surgery right before Christmas, and he couldn't get all of the stone. He got like 2/3 of it, and because it was 14 millimeters, and because of where it is. So if anybody knows anything about biology, you got your kidney, you have a tube that runs into your kidney, it kind of goes like that. Well, my stone is like underneath that. So really hard to get to. So he got most of it, but I have to go back in on January the 9th and have another surgery to get rid of the rest of it. So I'm still on some really strong painkillers, um, which has given its own issues, but we're getting there.
We'll continue to pray and keep you in our thoughts for a speedy recovery and that they get all of the stone this time and you have some relief. So, we'll,
I had some trouble with the anesthesia last time, not right after, like the day after. Uh, I was just really nauseous the next day, so I went ahead and took the day off after my next surgery coming up, and I think it's probably just because I've had, general anesthesia. By the time I've had this surgery, it'll be 4 times in the last 6 months. So it's been a lot.
that's been a lot. Yeah, absolutely. Well, glad that you're doing well and that you're filling up to doing this evening. Um, Definitely want to shout out everyone that's in the chat. Um, so let me shout everyone out here. Clown, Jeremy, member of the channel. Thank you. Static Marie, Dylan. What's up, Dylan? Greg, Aesthetic Wyndham 6. Talking about the news with Andrade leaving AEW. So
I heard that.
yeah, some folks are thinking he may show up as soon as tonight, uh, back in a WWE ring. So again, I know that Tazzy's in here. I saw him in the chat. All the more reason for you to join Tazzy for his watch along for NXT tonight. It's gonna be really good. So go have fun with Tazzy after we get done here, and check out NXT with him tonight.
NXT has been fantastic.
It really has, yeah, it really has been great. John G, Deanna, what's up? James Chadwick, was, yeah. So welcome
No,
everyone.
I'm not seeing fairies, James. Honestly, I think I've been on so much pain medicine in the past 5 years that honestly, I'm not in any pain, but I don't feel the high at all. So
You've built up a tolerance,
yep,
a high tolerance, yeah.
yep. Which is
Well,
good. Well, I guess that's a good thing because it makes it less. I don't want to say less addictive because I mean all opiates are addictive, but
yeah. It's not as appealing of a thing to just gravitate towards. So
right.
yeah, yeah. What's up, Richie Hurdy Sketch? Thank you for joining this evening. So I want to go a little bit different with this, and I'm kind of springing this on you, but we got something that was really really cool over the weekend, heading into the new year, and it's a change in name for a superstar that we all know well, and that's this man Elias, and he will now be known as
Elijah.
Elijah.
Hmm.
So if you have not seen it, Elijah posted a video, um, kind of discussing his rebirth.
It was beautiful.
It was great. It was great.
So
I mean,
good.
Jody, I'll turn it over to you if you want to talk about the video and what you thought of it.
Oh, it was just so good. I mean, it was well made. Like you said, kind of talking about his rebirth. And I know that Elias has kind of gone through a very spiritual um, rebirth. I was actually just messaging with him earlier today um, about um, his time when he spent some time in Israel and got baptized in the same river that Jesus was baptized in. So we talked about that a little bit. And um, so yeah, Elias being dead, and now we have Elijah. So will I did see he's gonna be at an indie show somewhere.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Um, so I wasn't sure. I mean, watching this, I wasn't sure if he was going to continue wrestling. Honestly, I thought he could go anywhere with this. I
Right.
mean, he could go with the video like this. He could go off and be a pastor somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's the impression that I got, that this doesn't necessarily mean he's going to wrestle, but yeah, he released that on New Year's Day,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see um you can see the effort that was put into it, and obviously that was timed for a specific reason and all that. So
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was a tremendous video. Just so much in there, and
so much biblical stuff.
yeah, a lot. Yeah, a lot. And yeah, I mean, even the birth, rebirth, and the death and burying and all. I mean, it's just so much in there. Um, but I it brings up an interesting point. He could very well take this and, like you said, become a pastor. Um, he could take this and go into Christian music, because
Mm-hmm.
he's got the music background. I mean, there's a lot that he could do here, but in terms of us being wrestling fans, I think I said this to everyone that I talked to about this video. I know where I would like to see him end up. I'd love to see him in TNA. I think that would be absolutely tremendous if he's there. Him and Crazy Steve could do some great work together. Those two doing something. I think him and Macklin, which Macklin retweeted it.
Yeah.
So who knows? Jesse Callen, Odin's son, what's up? Thank you for joining us.
Think about this. If you put Elijah with the righteous.
Yeah, now that would be pretty darn good too.
I'm just saying, we all love Vincent and Dutch around here, so
Yeah, absolutely. You could definitely do that.
mm-hmm.
World Champ Hamburger from Twitch. Hello.
What's up?
Kingslayer saying Happy New Year, all. Love the Bray t-shirt, Jody. Um, yeah, James Chadwick talking about Elijah and Joe Hendry going back and forth. That'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shane, what's up, Shane? Thank you so much. Saying hi, Jeff and Jody. Great show. Everyone hit that like button. Yeah, hit that like button, folks. Drop a like on the video. Leave some comments. We wanna interact with you all. So leave some comments on these videos. We don't get nearly enough. Um, Jesse saying, fun fact, Elias is my son's middle name. I'm gonna say this. You have a absolutely beautiful son. I mean, he is beautiful. So that I know he's a blessing to your life. his life and everyone that he's around. So I love seeing the pictures. Love seeing the pictures. Perish this time because in a couple years he's gonna have that personality and be all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
I I don't know if I'd go right to fun. Um, yeah, Logan has held me to playing Sorry today
Mm.
like 6 times. So yeah,
And he's 5.
yes.
Okay, yeah, because my daughter, she does the same. Like she wants to do her Barbie fashion shows and come up with dresses and all these different things. And it's like, Daddy, you told me you were going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I need you. I need you to cut. I need you to do all these different things. She's got her little production down pat. So
Can't remember to clean up after themselves or do anything that we asked them to do, but they
yeah,
will remember that you promised them you would play 6 games of Sorry.
yes,
Yep.
yeah, and don't put a treat on the line like
I'll give you
ice
ice
cream.
cream.
Yeah,
Yep.
oh my God.
Yep.
Yeah. Jesse saying he already has personality and a whole lot of energy. Yep, that's Deanna saying Jeff the fashion model. I just if my daughter wants to paint my nails, I don't say no. I let her do it.
No shame.
If she did my makeup the other day, I mean, it is what it is what it is. So
That's what
I,
happens when you have daughters.
that's right. That's right. So, I'm enjoying it. Anything she wants to do because she's told me that she wants to be a makeup artist when she grows up. So, maybe one day when she's, doing makeup art for some big movie, she can say, well, my dad used to let me put makeup on him to practice. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, uh, Jesse saying, I will never complain if Zion wants me to play Sorry with him, but that's because it's my favorite board game. And and JJ has now gotten to the point where he's really into video games.
Logan's really into Minecraft.
Minecraft, okay. Yeah, JJ
Yeah.
loves Madden. He loves playing Madden.
Oh
He's
yeah.
he's all about Madden. He's pretty good. He's pretty good at it, but yeah, he's all about
I'm slowly letting Harper have her Roblox back.
gotcha.
But now she's got me into playing it. So
Yeah, it is. I've played it a
it's
few.
addicting.
Yeah, it really is.
You get sucked into it and you're like, oh crap, it's been 3 hours and I've
3 hours, yeah.
running this obstacle course for the past 3 hours.
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy. It's
I don't
crazy.
understand Minecraft. I don't get the point. Yeah, they love Fortnite.
Yeah.
The girls love Fortnite, which I don't know. I haven't really tried to play it, but Roblox I'll do.
Yeah. Yeah, Fortnite, my oldest, he was into Fortnite, a lot. Um, and JJ not so much, but yeah, he's loving Madden right now.
Mm-hmm.
You should play Cuphead when they add Mickey Mouse. Okay. I wonder if that's the trailer I saw the other day. I don't know. I saw a um, really good trailer.
No,
Jason,
actually, me and Harper played. We were like a team on escaping from a prison. That was one of the Roblox games we played. And then I did some disaster survival. You have to like survive different disasters. I
yeah.
like that one. I played that one for a while. And then yeah, just doing all these obstacle courses.
So
Logan likes that.
he
He
like,
got into the obstacle courses. He was playing it on my iPad while we were driving to Cincinnati to see TTSO. So he got hooked on that.
that's these fun times, fun times. So I want to get back to Elijah because I I really like the idea of him and the righteous. So would you have him join them or would you have him oppose them?
I don't know. I kind of think it would be neat if he joined them.
I like that.
Yeah, like a trio.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
start like a, I don't know, a preacher faction.
Oh my god. Yeah, that would be I think I'd like that.
Mm,
I'd like to see him and Vincent go. Yeah, the trios champs. Yeah, I think that's a
hmm
good idea, Deanna. Them against House of Black would be tremendous, I think. Just
hmm
all the work that they could do back and forth.
Oh,
Um,
it's your classic good versus evil story.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I think that'd be tremendous. But yeah, I mean, I'm a homer, so I'm gonna be like, yeah, let's find a way to make it happen in TNA. But you've sold me on the righteous. I gotta say,
Hey, there's nothing wrong with the righteous coming to
not at all.
TNA either.
Yeah, not at all. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with the
Bring
righteous.
them on over to TNA.
There you go. We'll take them. We'll take them. So I for the rest of the episode, I just want us to talk about kind of looking ahead and um, you know, heading into further into 2024. Some of the things that we want to see in wrestling, some other things that we may want to see. But Jody, I want to ask you in terms of this show and what you hope we can accomplish in 2024. What's your goal there? What are you looking for in 2024?
I want to expand. Obviously we love Bray. We will always love Bray. He knew all about this show and loved that we did it, and I love that. And we want to continue to honor his memory, and um, so I want to be able to do that, but talk about lots of other things too. Obviously, we've gone into some music a little bit, and little announcement. If you guys are familiar with Whitesnake and TSO, you may know Mr. Joel. He is the guitarist for Whitesnake and the guitarist for TSO. He's agreed to come on for an interview sometime in January. So that'll be fun.
That'll be a lot
Um,
of fun.
I'm working on Chris Caffrey, who is the other guitarist for TSO, to get him on for an interview as well. But Joel is, oh my gosh, I'll show you all kinds of videos and stuff of Joel next week when we start bringing some music and stuff into it, because that man, I mean, there was a point where he played the guitar with his teeth, like with his teeth. And I'm like, Joel, how do you do that? Like, their fingers must hurt after shows like that. So I will definitely show you guys next week videos of the TSO show, because it was amazing. Logan did okay for it being his first big concert. Obviously, the first concert he went to was Caleb, and that was outdoors, and he got to run around with Soul, Caleb's guitarist's little boy. So they were running around together pretty much the entire show. So this was his first big concert where like he had to stay in his seat and couldn't run off anywhere, and he did okay. He got a little restless, like somewhere in the middle, but loved like the ending, like the last couple of songs. He went nuts with all the fire, and oh, it was amazing. Um, so yeah, I talked to Chris and Joel quite a bit. Um, Obviously with Caleb being one of their singers too. Um, so yeah, Joel should be coming on here at some point. I've got to email him and get a date set up. Yeah, TSO is the abbreviation, because it's a mouthful to say Trans Siberian Orchestra.
Yeah.
So yeah, fantastic show. Obviously their tour is finished now. Caleb, his next date is in January with Celebrating Meatloaf in Mississippi on January the 20th. But yeah, I would really like to see the channel expand. I'd like to get some more people on here for interviews, and I want some feedback from you guys about some of the stuff that you would like for us to do. Um, I still want to continue to do the horror brackets if you guys are liking those. To go forward with. We still need to do our watch along for Halloween, but going forward and doing the paranormal movies and talking about new horror movies and stuff that are coming out. Um, I just finished the new season of Doctor Death. Amazing. So talking about dark stuff like that because that was something that Bray enjoyed. Um, so yeah, I would like to see us, you know, continue to grow and expand, and um, I would like to do some more off the cuff kind of little videos as opposed to kind of like what I was trying to do with Tea Time with Abby, just these little, so if we get big news or something like that, I can, make a video and post it, and so we get a little bit more traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely more guests for sure.
Alicia saying, "Hey, what's up, Alicia? Um,
Yes,
get
I
some
do.
thumbs up for the movie bracket." So
Good.
I heard some great things about those. People really enjoyed those. So
Good.
I think that is I think it's here. I think it's here to stay. So
Good.
um, so yeah, we'll definitely do that. And just to kind of go along with that, I want to see us expand and grow.
Mhm.
I think this is a really big year for us on this channel, and we've got some new things coming. Next week graphics are going to be a little bit different. Intro music for all the shows going to be different. Um, it's gonna be a different look for us, but I think it's something that we need, and that will help us continue to grow.
I'd like to do some collabs.
Yeah, yeah, I like collaborating with other creators and other folks out there. So yeah, let us and that's a great point in the comments. So after this video, I want you guys to think about it right now. So think about it. Shout out some channels or some creators that you'd like to see us collaborate with. Um, Let us know in the comments because we want to know what you all want to see, and if we can make it happen, we will. But yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun to collaborate. We've done that in the past, and
Hmm.
it's something we'll continue to do because we're a welcoming community, and it's all about love and positivity. We try to preach that as much as we can, and we try to live it. So
That's definitely something I want to focus on too, as an individual, as myself. I tend to overthink things, and I know that's part of my past trauma that's kind of made me that way, to overthink things. And you know I was kind of put into this behavior pattern from high school that just me isn't enough, and that I have to do things for people or give people things. So I tend to overthink things. Am I doing too much? Am I not doing enough? I definitely want to work on that as an individual, about staying positive, um, and reminding myself that I am enough, and those that don't think so don't deserve to be in my life. So, and
I think
just loving others the way that God told us to.
I think those are great things for 2024 and every year. Honestly, I think for me, just just talking about creating positivity. Um, Anyone that's on Twitter knows how much of a cesspool that place is or can
Mhm.
be at times. As we broadcast live on there right now. I'm not calling it X. I'm not. Um, it's Twitter to me, and it will forever be Twitter to me. So, um, but sometimes it's just toxic, and social media in general.
Mhm.
And I think sometimes we spend so much time on social media that it tends to kind of seep into our pores,
Mm-hmm.
the negativity and some of the hatred and all these other things that are going on. So my my challenge to myself, which I honestly avoided social media as much as I could. I mean, it is my profession, um, partially, so I have to be on there. My goal this year is to try to bring some more positivity. So you might be strolling through and you might see something um, that is negative, and then hopefully you see mine. It's like, okay, well, maybe things aren't so bad. So
Mm-hmm.
that's my goal for this year. But I,
That's
re-
something I already started
I,
on
I,
all
I
of my social media. I am doing one awesome thing about, either my husband or one of my kids every
yeah,
day.
that's awesome. That's awesome. I've seen that. And I really like that. That's great. And I think we should be doing more of that. I think sometimes we get so caught up in the the day to day stuff that we
Mhm.
we tend to,
We get caught up in the hate.
yeah, we get caught up in it. Yeah, and I everybody's talking about overthinking. Listen, I am right there with you. I overthink everything.
Hmm.
It's one of those things that I've tried over the years to kind of wean myself away from it, but it's a challenge. So
It is.
I think it's good. It is that's a good thing.
And I'm a believer of that verse that where your treasure is, that's where your heart will be. I think
Yeah.
it's the same way with your mind. Whatever, you know, the things that you say, that's where your mind will be.
Hmm.
So, takes 30 days to make a habit. Start a habit of saying something positive every day, something awesome about somebody or it doesn't have to be a family member. Just say, hey, so and so reached out to me the other day and said they were praying for me, and I really appreciated it. And, really building this community of positivity. And, that's something that Bray prided himself on, was just being so loving and generous to everybody else. Um, so I know that that's something that would really honor him, is to love like he did.
Yeah, that's powerful. I mean, you've seen there. I mean, there's so many posts out there over the weekend and heading in, through Christmas and the New Year. Just remembering him and um, how much of an impact he made in so many people's lives, and the type of man, the type of person he was, not the person that you see on TV, but the person
Hmm.
portraying that character, the
Hmm.
actual human being, Wyndham Rotunda. And I mean, just hearing some of the things, I mean, it it lets me know how special he truly was, and will always be.
Yeah. We had him. There was a moment during that concert, and, coincidentally, it was on the same night that they were doing all that recapping and talking about, Bray as part of it. I haven't really seen something like this happen at TSO before. I've seen them. This is my third time where they have a moment where everybody does the lights, the fireflies, and that happened that night. And then Chris was scrolling through social media on, I think it was Instagram, and you know how sometimes you get those, amazing places you didn't know existed. Well, one
Hmm.
of those came up on his Instagram feed as he was scrolling past, and one of them was this synchronized Firefly event
Oh wow!
in Tennessee. And so we started digging into it. He was like, "Babe, look at this," and it's apparently these fireflies that, for like a couple of weeks out of the year in June, it's like their mating season, and the males synchronize their lights. But the more we dug into it, which I didn't know, their lights and what lights up on them is called a lantern. That
Wow.
body part is called a lantern.
Wow.
And when they're telling you about preparing to come there, they have to do it by lottery. So you pay $1, you put your name into a lottery, and they pull your name and you get to go. It's like $24 to get to go to see this Firefly event. And so we were listening to what kind of to do to prepare if you get chosen. And it literally said the only light that doesn't disrupt the fireflies is red. So bring a red light with you, like a
Wow.
lantern that shows red light, so it doesn't distract them. And me and
Wow.
Chris are just sitting there going,
Wow.
"Real, right?"
Yeah, that's mind blowing.
Like it just happens to come up on his Instagram feed. The body part's called a lantern.
I'll turn.
They're not distracted by red light. Maybe he said you can't kill it under the red light. You can't kill fireflies under a red light.
Wow. Yeah, just
So
my
needless to say, we're putting our name in that lottery to go to the
I
event.
was gonna say you better after that like you have to that wow that's
I know.
I have goosebumps right now.
I
I
know. Like,
really do.
and the first thing I said after we like just sat there with our mouths on the floor for about 10 seconds, I was like, I have to talk about this on Abby's. Because they'll love it. Like, isn't that wild?
That is that's
That body part is literally called a lantern. I was
yeah,
like, I didn't know that the part that glows is called a lantern.
yeah that's mind blowing. Like that's wild. That is wild.
So yeah, like and talking on, I thought that was neat, oh, that's cool, that's called a lantern, that's a really neat connection. Then they started talking about the red lighting and I'm like, what the F just happened?
Wow. That is mind blowing.
Oh yeah, I'd put money on it too, Richie.
Yeah,
That
that's
just goes to shit. Bray knew, yeah. I'm sure he knew all of that. So that's another thing that just makes him a genius, because he would have connected all those dots a long time ago.
yeah. Wow. Wow. That is
So
that
literally, I
yeah.
already have a lantern tattooed on me.
Yep. You do. Wow. Man, that's a goosebump. That's a
I
goosebump.
know.
Um,
And those are just, moments that you're just like, even Braun said it in an interview, like there are times that you can just feel him still. And yeah, Braun said that in an interview, that there's times that he still feels his presence. And times like that you're just like,
wow.
thanks, Bray.
Yeah, that is
Like there's no way out of all the most beautiful places you didn't know existed,
yeah.
that one happened to be a random, because my husband's not subscribed to those pages. He doesn't follow those pages. It was just a random, one that came up. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's man. I don't even know how to there's
Process
no
it.
there's no good way to transition from that because that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But I will ask this in terms of wrestling. What are some things, some storylines, some different things you want to see play out in 2024?
I mean, obviously, this, and I said this on Twitter last night as we were watching Raw. I was like tweeting during it, and I feel like the climate of WWE right now is very unpredictable. There's so many different ways some of these storylines can go. that yeah, you can make predictions, but the chances of them, 3 years ago being correct were probably right. Your percentage was going to be pretty high. But now, like, your percentages of being right aren't as high. There's so many different ways some of these storylines can go. I mean, if you look at, obviously, there's going to be something going down between Roman and The Rock. But is that going to be at uh, Elimination Chamber?
Right.
And then that leads to Roman and Cody at Mania. Is it going to be at Mania? And that leads to Cody and Roman at SummerSlam. There's a rumor floating around that Naomi's coming back to WWE. Like, there's so much out there. There's rumors that Sasha Banks is coming back, or she's going here, she's going, like, there's so much going on, and there's so many different directions that stuff can go in. It's amazing.
I was just gonna say, and that's a good thing.
It's a great thing. Like,
you don't want it to be predictable.
No. And it's not, for me anyway. Like, some things are, but like, you look at this feud that's just started to go on between CM Punk and Seth Rollins. I have no idea who's going to win that first match. I would think Punk would, but they might not. I legitimately thought Drew might have beat Seth last night.
I did too.
But he didn't. Like,
right.
Yeah, there's just so many different ways that this stuff can go in, and it's great. It's great to be surprised.
Yeah, it
in a
really,
way, it's great for it to go against what you thought it would.
Yeah.
For me, like, okay.
Yeah, I like that. I like the swerves. I like the I want to be fooled. I want to be gotten. I want to.
That's why Saw was so good. That's
Right.
why the original Saw was so good.
Right.
I want to be sitting there at the end of a wrestling event going, what just happened?
Yeah, you can insert that Titus O'Neil.
I don't know what I just saw.
I don't know what I just saw.
Yeah.
I love those moments. Love those moments. Yeah.
It's a great time to be a wrestling fan.
It really is. It really is. Mark joining us from Facebook saying, you know what, Jodie and Jeff, something I thought of. We wouldn't know about why he chose the Firefly as his symbol, but I wonder if the Fireflies were his favorite creatures growing up.
I don't know. I remember him saying that it just happened. I remember him talking about how the Firefly thing started. And it was in an interview like years ago. And he said it just happened. Like, during an entrance, everybody put their lights on and they looked like fireflies. And it stuck. And I remember him saying that in an interview. So I don't know. I think it may have happened organically. And he built on that. I don't know.
he might have been boarding a flight or something somewhere internationally and picked up a book or saw a magazine article about these fireflies and read up on it and and I mean you never know, and that was his brilliance, though, is that he could draw inspiration seemingly from anything.
And he did.
And he did, which was tremendous. So yeah, and let's see here. Deanna saying, and look at Cross, all of his things are coming together and pieces are making sense.
And they're giving time for these things to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like they're rushing through storylines like they used to. Like, this feud with CM Punk and Seth kind of just started last month, and that's going to obviously go all the way to Mania. Like, that's 5 months for a story to breathe. And I think that's important sometimes, is to just let a story breathe.
Yeah, and I think because I'm just gonna go ahead and admit it. I'm a huge Shinsuke Nakamura fan. Always have been. But him and Cody and the video packages that they do for Shinsuke just top notch,
Oh,
phenomenal.
it's amazing.
It's beautiful.
I love it. I love the comic book style. I love the sinister nature of it. Like it's just brilliant.
Mhm,
And I do tell myself every time I see one of these Shinsuke Nakamura packages, Bray would have loved that.
mhm.
You know, there's little things almost on a daily basis that I just go, huh, Bray would have loved that.
It's honestly some of his best work. I mean, some of his best work,
Oh yeah.
specifically in WWE. But I mean, he it honestly feels like we're watching, and I don't know how many people have seen this, and I'm okay. I just remembered the name of it, Sin City.
Yeah.
It
Mhm.
makes me think about Sin City. It's like a comic book
Comic
come
book.
to life,
Mhm.
and it feels that way. And what anytime he's on screen, and they've got the red tint to the background, and all of these different things that you notice that they're doing with shadows and
Mhm.
different, it's beautiful. And maybe that's the nerd in me that loves this tech stuff and lighting and camera work and filming, but I absolutely love it. Everything that they're
Me
doing.
too. Yeah, me too. It is kind of that Sin City um kind of vibe for sure.
Yeah.
That Sin City Harley Quinn kind of,
Yeah.
yeah. I love it, and I think it's new and it's different, and Bray prided himself on that too. Like, be proud to be different. It's okay to be different. It's something that makes you special. Being different is what makes you special. And I feel like they're embracing that. Maybe that's the legacy that he's really left, is that it's okay to do things that are different. And because now we're seeing a lot of different things. Like you compare wrestling now back to, wrestling in the 90s, it's totally different. Um, if you would have told Vince McMahon in 1994 that we were going to have, comic book style vignettes and dark stuff, and he would have looked at you like you were insane.
Mhm.
So I love it. I love that they're really embracing being different.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's evolving with the times too,
Hmm.
and that and really connecting. I think at times with professional wrestling, it hasn't always connected to pop culture in a way that can appeal to just about anyone.
Hmm.
And what I've seen from WWE and AEW to an extent is they've been able to reach out to people that normally would never watch professional wrestling.
Hmm.
Then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, I watched this show, and I hadn't watched wrestling since the 80s or 90s or whatever, and but they got me into it, and that's what you want to see. And I think, you know, companies doing things like this, going outside of the box, connecting with things that people enjoy outside of wrestling,
Hmm.
and Deanna just said it, using it as an inspiration. Like they've always had ties to mainstream stars,
Hmm.
but not embedded in the culture and using the culture to connect storylines to people that might be able to identify.
Yeah, and they're leaning into things that the fans are responding to.
Right.
So, like everybody booing Dom, like they've really leaned into that. And I
Mhm.
love it. I love that it's like the fans feel like we're finally being listened to. And you know, they're and I think that's a huge credit to Triple H.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
mean,
people like, like Rob Fee, and they're really listening to what the fans want.
yeah. And they're doing less and less of the overproduction. I mean, it still happens at times, but they're they're not overly producing segments. I feel, they have some times where it feels a little over. overproduced. But
Hmm.
it, honestly, when it comes to,
They're gonna have some trial and error.
yeah, I mean, not everything's gonna stick, and that's okay. At least they're trying some different stuff,
Yep.
and that's what fans have to realize is that we're asking these companies to do different things. And then when they do different things, we say, "Oh, well, that didn't work." Well, give it a chance. Let them try
Yeah.
something else. I mean, it's not going to work on the first try all the time. So let these companies try things. If they work, they work. And if not, okay, move on, do something
Hmm.
different. But,
Yeah.
I think that's something, like you said, we as the fans have been asking these companies for, and it feels like they're listening, which is a
Hmm.
good thing. Like you said earlier, great time to be a wrestling fan.
Hmm.
Mhm.
See what happens when someone younger takes charge. That's Lila. That, Deanna, is why I like Vivek Ramaswamy. Moving on.
Polish, polish with for the swerve. Yeah, and I saw that. So Kevin Dunn, that
He's
was with
out.
WWE, is retiring. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see. I know people started talking about the 1,000 cuts in like 30 seconds and all of that, the different camera stuff that people complained about with Kevin Dunn. But, you know, we'll see. I mean, maybe again, like Deanna said, you have someone that's younger, someone who understands today's culture and lingo and what stands out and
Hmm.
what people are engaging with on social media in terms of how that looks, and and maybe they can do some different presentation from that standpoint.
Hmm.
um Mark saying also something else to consider: ever since Triple H and TKO have taken over, they've done a wonderful job with WWE, but you got to think that Bray was the inspiration for all of the changes that Triple H and TKO have done with WWE. I Jody said this earlier, you can see his legacy shining through. You can see the impact and the his hands on so many different things. I
Hmm.
So yeah, I think that's a great point. I really do think
And
that's
I had a hard time watching. I still have a hard time sometimes. Um, but episodes like Raw last night, and some of them have been really. They've been. It's been hard to watch, but I've loved seeing Bray's thumbprint on things.
absolutely, absolutely. So we're gonna start wrapping up here. But I've got to ask this question. Um, kind of off the cuff, but is there one particular wrestler this year that you're really excited to see more from, or want to see more from? You feel like maybe this is a big year for them?
I don't really know anything about CM Punk, so um, I am looking forward to giving him a shot.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
heard so many, opposing things. I know what happened when he was in AW and the attitude and stuff. And when I first found out that he had showed up there, the first thing I said was, "You better not pull that same stuff." But I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, and he seems happy and genuine, and that's where he wants to be. So I'm curious to see to learn more about him and his wrestling style, and because I don't even think I've ever seen him wrestle. I've seen like a part of a couple of matches, but so I'm looking forward to that. I am really looking forward to what happens with the bloodline this year, because we've said, he said that Solo is going to be the next head of the table. Now you've got The Rock come into it saying maybe he should be the next head of the table, and Roman still has those belts. Is he going to break Hogan's record or is he not going to break Hogan's record? I don't really foresee him breaking more than Hogan's record. If he does break Hogan's record, I don't see him going all the way up to number one because that's
Right.
like another 3 years.
Yeah,
I
that
think
that,
I
that
think
ain't happening.
I think the fans would riot at that point.
Yeah,
So I could see him breaking Hogan's record, but I don't know. I could see Cody finishing the story at this WrestleMania. I don't think it would be a good idea to have Cody lose to Roman twice at WrestleMania. So if it does end up being Roman and Cody at WrestleMania, I think Cody will win.
yeah,
But you also don't know what else is coming into it because Cody's after the belt, not Roman. Somebody else could have the belt. You could have, I don't think Rock versus Roman's going to be for the belt. I think it's going to be something different, like for the head of the table.
yeah,
But I don't know. I'm curious to see if not Cody that takes that belt from him, then who and
yeah,
how.
yeah. Because I mean, they've built him up in such a way at this point where it's like you basically have to have your own army to keep the bloodline at bay.
Mm-hmm.
And who has that right now?
Mm-hmm.
So what do they do to kind of negate that Roman has? He's got that advantage. And I do think at some point soon we will start seeing the bloodline slowly chipped away at,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like they want to put him in a position where he's got to say, I had to rely on other people, but now I got to be on my own, and maybe he can't get it done this
Mm-hmm.
time. So maybe he has to do some change.
Well, and
Uh,
I think Solo is, he's ready for a singles push.
yeah,
So I'm curious to see what Orton does.
yeah. I mean,
I'm
that's
so glad Randy Orton's back.
yeah,
Braun has already said when he comes back, he's doing it all for Bray. So really, really curious to see that.
yeah. I mean, we got AJ Styles back and
Mm-hmm.
looking jacked. I mean, the
Oh my
man is
gosh.
jacked.
That was the first thing I noticed. I was like, damn.
Yeah, dude is jacked. I've never seen him this jacked in his life. So,
Wow.
so yeah.
Looking forward to Logan Paul getting the crap beat out of him.
Who would you rather see beat the crap out of him? Kevin Owens or Santos Escobar?
Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens. I'd
But
like to see.
honestly, a 7-year-old little girl could beat the crap out of him, and I would love every minute.
Yeah, so get that. So
Alicia said anybody. Yep,
anybody.
anybody.
Yeah,
Literally anybody. Somebody beat the crap out of him for me.
Yeah. So yeah, but I feel like honestly, you have to have someone like that to reinvigorate a championship like the US title. I feel like people don't understand the history of it as much because
That's
of
another one. Who's gonna beat Gunther?
Gunther. Yeah, who at this point? Because
Randy?
maybe I know they're on different shows, but I'd love to see him in LA Knight. I'd love to see that.
Ooh, I wouldn't mind LA Knight getting that title off of Logan Paul.
Yeah, he's another. Like, what do you?
Hmm.
There's so many different things, like you said earlier. So many different things.
I know. You're like, it could go this way. It could go that way. Oh, it could go that way. It
Yeah.
could go that way. And you're just like, damn, I have no idea what's gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, this is a good thing for wrestling. Good thing for wrestling fans, because it's fun. It's fun to speculate. Yeah, Elja might be the one to come up and do that. James Chadwick saying they've put on some banger matches in the past. So that's another thing. Speaking of bangers, hopefully get Sheamus back
Miss him.
at some point. I do miss him. He's a lot of fun and I enjoy him.
I would
So
love to see Drew and Sheamus in a tag team.
why not? Why not?
Think about that. Amazing.
All right, Jody. Well, any final thoughts before we get out of here this evening?
Good time to be a wrestling fan. Come to Abby's next week, ready to see some pictures of TSO, of Caleb and Fire, and insane videos. And I hopefully will, maybe we can do our belated Christmas Caleb giveaway next week.
Yeah, yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
Yeah. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, and yeah, keep on rolling with the trenches.
Yeah, that's right. Tonight, folks, watch NXT. Should be really good. And go join Tazzy for his watch along. And party with him as you enjoy NXT. We'll be back on Thursday for TNA. I'm just going to go ahead and start calling it TNA. I've changed up just about all the graphics at this point. Only a couple little things, but yeah, TNA Thursday night. And Sunday we'll be here for the Tigs. We'll be here for the Tigs, so join us for that. It'll be a lot of fun.
I'm
And
excited about that.
yeah, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm interested to see how people voted. To see what the discussion is surrounding the different categories. So yeah, it'll be a lot of fun, and I can't believe that this will actually be our fourth one.
We should have a moment in the beginning, just like a moment of silence for Bray.
Well, I will say that I have put together a in memoriam video, um, and everyone that we lost in 2023. But I will say that that Bray is prominently in that video. So yeah, I agree. We will have that moment of silence, and we'll play that video, that tribute video as well. So yeah, that'll be Sunday 8:30. Join us for that. That'll be a lot of fun. Um, talking about all the awards and best match and best pay per view and all that good stuff. So come and join us, and we'll have a good time on Sunday evening. So big week for us on this channel. We're back after a nice little holiday break. It was nice to have a little downtime, but we're back. And we're glad you're with us. So again, go join Tazzy for NXT. We'll see you next week here, 6 o'clock next Tuesday for Abby's Abode. So yeah, be on the lookout for the new graphics and stuff. So just know a lot of work has gone into it. But take care, everyone. Have a good night.